Welcome into the new and improved under review. What I mean by that is I'm making it a little bit better, but I've got a special guest. You guys know her from Three Chicks in a Pod, and I encourage everybody to watch it. I chimed in, what was it, on Tuesday about my Denver Broncos with you guys, and you didn't really like what I had to say, but that's okay.
No, that's because you're being a haterade. I was like, stop with your haterade, Jordan.
Yeah, so this is Jennifer Matthews Lewis. I've had her on
And I
before. It's
should,
been a while.
by the way, I should never have to defend your Broncos to you since, Peyton announced his retirement on opening night of Radio Row or announced the announcement of his pending retirement. And I remember looking it out and going, we just lost the Super Bowl. So don't make me ever defend your damn Broncos again, please. Yeah, I remember.
I got nothing. I mean, you're right. You have nothing to defend. I have a lot of things to defend since we're sorry franchise right now. But you know what? That's not here nor there.
Exactly. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
just it's crazy that we're in August. Time flies,
Right?
and it just felt what in February we had the Super Bowl. And now we're in preseason and training camp. Time just flies.
Yeah, it really does. I
So
mean, yeah,
I mean,
it's
you
been
guys
a
have
real
what?
long. I'm still waiting on my birthday present.
But so I mean, I have nothing. So you guys, of course, had you you traded draft picks and ended up with the number one draft pick, and that's basically the exciting news that you've had going into this season. For the Broncos, it's we got Sean Payton, but let's go into the
You can have Sean Payton. Don't send him back to the NFC South. He
okay.
dirty.
That's fair enough. So let's get into what your expectations are for your team, which is the Carolina Panthers, and I'll
Oh,
get
you're
into
five.
my for my Denver Broncos here for week 2. I know you guys play tonight. I just looked. You guys play the New York Giants.
Yep. 12
So
and
what
5.
are your what is your expectations for going into the second preseason game? How long are the
I expect
starters
us
going
to
to
lose
play?
tonight. It's preseason. I don't care about preseason. Do you care about preseason?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I look at how bad my offensive line was last week, and it was against the not Carolina, Cardinals, second string guys. The Broncos were supposed to play a couple of drives. They ended up playing 4. The thing is people will look at the box score and say Russell Wilson was 7 of 13 for 93 yards. Honestly, I look at that and I throw that away because I watched the game, and I don't know if you watched any of the games last year with the Broncos. I'm not trying to just go into my team, but it looked the exact same: pressure and pressure and pressure. I didn't see a whole lot of good things in the preseason game by my first team offense. And
Mm-hmm.
I look at right. I can't remember if he's right or left tackle, but Garrett Bowles, who's been in the league for 7 years, he looked like a rookie. He was getting beat left and right. I didn't like what I saw. I mean, I realize it's preseason. I can't get too high and too low on it, but I wasn't happy with what I saw.
Right.
And then if I look at also what happened, our special teams. I don't want to sit here and gripe about the Broncos' special teams, but they were awful last week. I mean, our punter had an average of 45 yards and 1 touchback, which isn't good. Then we had our kicking competition between Elliott Fry and Brett Maher. Well, Maher was 0 for, I believe, 0 for 1, while the other guy was 1 for 3. It, those things I know are going to get corrected, but it's just, I don't want to see mistakes in preseason ball as much as that.
I mean, which starters were playing?
Actually, it was for the Broncos, it was pretty much all the starters except for our starting running back.
For how
And I
long?
want to for 4 drives is ended up being, and the Cardinals ended up having their second string and third string guys. But like you said, we can't take a whole lot of stock in preseason. I realize I'm griping, I realize, but it's just preseason ball.
I'm just saying that in the past, when we've had a franchise quarterback This is Carolina Panthers history. So go back. I implore you to look at your 2015 preseason schedule. Let me pull it up real quick.
I don't even remember who we played in preseason. All I remember is that Peyton got really mad at somebody, but I can't remember if it was that year or the year before. We even play. That was a good question. Broncos preseason. Let's see. We played. I have it right here. I can go down. We played Seattle, San Francisco. Oh wait, there were 5. There was Seattle, Houston, San Francisco. Oh yeah, we played 4. It was Arizona was the last one. San Francisco was the third week. Houston. I remember that game because Peyton Manning got mad at one of their cornerbacks for smashing into one of our. I can't remember which wide receiver. And then week 1 against Seattle. So they played 4 preseason games. I'm pretty sure that the starters only played in the second and third. They didn't play the first and the fourth.
You don't play your starters. You don't play them much. Like my starters played 3 series, and people are all, "There's not enough chemistry." Shut up. There was 3 series. On top of that, in our case, Reich has been preaching to the high heavens that he's not showing our cards. He's not showing our talents during preseason. Why would he? We're showcasing people we want to offload. That's what most teams are doing.
They are,
but I will read too much into it. That's just.
Well, I understand. I mean, I've never been a huge advocate of preseason, but I saw what happened last year. Granted, a whole different system for the Broncos this year, but none of the starters played, and it kind of showed in the regular season. Of course, though, since we have 17 weeks, a lot of people say the first 4 weeks are, you're trying to get your team back into shape. So I get that. But I still think
Sorry, my internet's been wonky lately on StreamYard.
You're fine. But I just look at preseason as, yes, it's position battles or, backups. And I believe you said it in Cool McCain's NFL chat. It's more
I'm losing you again. Sorry.
You still there?
Let me come on my phone real quick.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. Fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
If you need to go on your phone, I can talk for a few seconds. But I think you said it best in Cool McCain's chat that this is just you're auditioning for 32 other teams, which is certainly true.
Exactly. Every day in your regular job is an interview. Every football game is an interview. Every NBA game is an interview. Did I lose you because you're just smiling?
I'm still here.
Did I lose you?
I'm still here.
I see you moving now. Okay. I'm getting frustrated with the
internet. If you need to go into your phone, it's all
let me jump on my phone real quick, then I'll jump off here. So, right. Sorry, Jordan.
Oh, you're good. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, preseason, yeah, it matters, but it doesn't matter that much because you are auditioning for 31 other teams. The real key, though, is I look at the undrafted players. The Broncos have been pretty good with that in years past, going for undrafted guys. I mean, one guy that I wish they would have kept, and let me get rid of this one. There we go. So you good now? All right, you're good. So, I'm good. Like we were saying, preseason doesn't matter a whole lot except for you're auditioning for 31 other teams.
Right. But and I mean, honestly, that season 2015, you guys actually won 3 out of 4 of the preseason games. I believe we lost all 5.
Isn't Baltimore? They haven't lost a preseason game in like 5 or 6 years or something like that. Crazy. The only person
what good has that done them?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, when was the last time they went to the Super Bowl? 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the fact that we should have been in the Super Bowl when they went, but that's because they beat us. But that's a different story. The point is yes, you make.
It's okay. We should have won, but your quarterback announced his retirement.
I mean, we could get into who should have been where, but the thing I look at too is
you know that we had the better team that year. That is
actually
why Peyton said that.
There's a lot of people who have admitted that if we played you 10 times that year, you would have won 101-9. That's what the Broncos are admitting now.
That's what one player on the Broncos is admitting.
I mean, I will admit you had the better offense. We had the better defense. But that's, we're going into the past. But the fact of the matter is if you look at preseason, it doesn't matter except for position battles. And now I want to switch to that for both teams. So what I'm looking at for position battles is the backup quarterback on my team. This is where it's important for preseason. Jared Stidham was supposed to be the guy who would win this battle. Now, Stidham didn't look very good. Granted, I didn't get a chance to watch his time again in the third and fourth quarter, but he was 5 of 15 passing for 50 yards. Didn't throw a touchdown, had one interception. Okay, you're against 3 or 4, stringers. Then we looked at Ben DiNucci, who our Queen of Hoops knows very well, Megan Price. DiNucci was actually better, but he was 7 of 9 for 57 yards. He didn't have a pick. I just look at that going, okay, so DiNucci was better for one game. Well, guess what? There's 3 more, we have, 2 more weeks of this? Will Jared Stidham step up? I haven't looked at your guys' battle positions, but how are your position battles going?
I mean, honestly, most of us look really solid, Jordan. There's a couple of players like Corral obviously had a really bad game, but in his defense, he came in under Matt Rule. We all know my feelings on Matt Rule. He never should have had a rookie quarterback. Then during a preseason game with a nimwit call that Rule undoubtedly called, Corral got hurt with a limb fracture last year. So he sat out the entire season. Like, the dude did training camp last year, 1 series and 1 NFL game. And he was out for the entire season. So I do feel bad for him because the other day, he was shaking off the limbs, shaking off the nerves, shaking everything off. I mean, I know who I want us to keep. I'm not going to lie. So, but I mean, I think we got rid of a really good running back last year. Jacob Christner, you're welcome. You have him now. But I mean, I don't know. I know who we want. I know who I'm excited about Thielen being here. As we've discussed in the past, I love Chenault Jr.
Oh, I love Chenault. I mean, I was lucky enough to watch him in college. Unfortunately, had a couple of injuries, but I saw what he could do, and I think I told you, you're gonna like this guy, and it still holds true. I mean, the guy can catch the football when he's open, has speed to beat the quarterback. Oh yeah. That's what I loved about
our boy Demir Beard back. Demir, I mean, he's solid, but he's been around this league. So I swear to God, he's like a doorknob. Everybody's had a turn in the league with poor Demir. I mean, he's good. That's why he keeps getting picked up. Obviously, I love my Shaq. I love my Derek Brown. I love my Taylor Moton. Happy birthday, Taylor. Happy birthday to our other Taylor as well. I like Chuba. He really stepped up. Like, honestly, Coach Wilkes did a lot for him last year. So I will never give credit to Matt Rule. I was unimpressed with Chuba's play at that point under Rule, but they we get rid of, we sent him back to school, and what happens, So I don't know. I'm excited to see what this season is. I think we're going to go 12-5. I think we're going to go for a playoff run. I'll be happy as long as we just stick to our guns. A lot of people in Charlotte are really worried about Bryce's size. Got news for you.
I wouldn't worry about that at
I don't
all.
care.
I mean, and then I wanted to talk to you about his first game. I mean, I'm not going to worry about these stats. I believe he was 4 of 6 for 21 yards. And then you had Matt Corral finish the game 15 of 22. What did you think of Bryce Young's first game in the NFL?
He played 3 series, and we're not showing what he can do. We've established that we're not going to show what he's going to do. So, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. He went out there. He saved one play. He saved 1 or 2 plays. The improvement, I always say you can. I mean, I'm forgetting. There's a term I'm forgetting the name for. When you're avoiding getting tackled by the back end, like when your O-line is collapsed, it starts with an S.
I know what you're talking about. You're scrambling or
thank you. Scrambling. Yes. I want him to work a little more on a scrambling. But he's got, he's got some other things to work on. Some people are worried about him not knowing what to do. Bryce Young had one of the highest football IQs in college football.
I think if you really look at, we have a friend for you talking, commenting. The thing I look at for rookie quarterbacks, honestly, the preseason, to me, it's just a way for them to get, their feet wet. Once you come to the regular season, then it matters. The thing is there's a reason why this guy was, drafted number 1. You guys needed a quarterback. Who's your backup? Is it going to be Corral or is it going to be somebody else?
It's Corral and Andy Dalton. We have 2.
That's what I thought. I mean, Dalton, though,
But here's the thing. You want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Mm.
There's been a lot of love tossed out between Cam and Bryce on social media. So I actually think Cam's been mentoring Bryce.
That could be.
On the deal, because he's done it with a lot of quarterbacks for the Panthers. It's just been
Andy
fun.
Dalton is number 2. Well, I mean, yes, Andy Dalton could end up being the number 2 quarterback. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could, I mean, I've seen what Andy Dalton can do on the football field. He is not a number 1 quarterback anymore. He's definitely a backup. And honestly, if Bryce Young
moments of brilliance.
Right. I just know if Bryce Young goes down, at least you have somebody who can step up in his place.
Right. What's been kind of disappointing me from everything I've heard in training camp, because unfortunately I haven't been able to go. I wasn't able to go to training camp this year. And I'm sorry, Jordan. I started work really early this morning. Etor, Gross Mateos. I love Etor. If you ever want to go to read his article at the Players Tribune. It's very sad, but yeah, he wasn't doing enough during preseason.
That's understandable. So we're going to finish up here with one that's true to my heart is Mike Shanahan again falls short of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you look at Mike Shanahan, to me, this makes no sense to leave him out. Yes, he's coached the Broncos. I'm a little bit biased, but that's not why I think he should be in. He also coached the Raiders from 1988 to 1989. And he also was Washington from 2010 to 2023. If you look at his record, here's why I think he should be in. 170 regular season victories and 2 Super Bowl victories. If you just look at the 2 Super Bowl victories alone, that puts him in. Let's compare him to other Hall of Famers. Joe Gibbs, he went to the Super Bowl 4 times and won 3 rings. Okay, I understand why Joe Gibbs is in. But the thing that I look at is he has 154 wins, 16 wins less than Mike Shanahan. Then Bill Cowher we know what the Steelers do. They do not fire head coaches. He was there for 15 years, 149 wins, 21 less than Mike Shanahan. Of course, Cowher went to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1. Tony Dungy, I love Tony Dungy, especially when he was on NBC. The thing is he was with Tampa Bay and Indy. We know he won a Super Bowl in Indy with one of the Broncos quarterbacks, or when he was a Broncos quarterback, Peyton Manning. Of course, he started with the Colts. 139 and 69, 31 wins less than Mike Shanahan. And then Jimmy Johnson, I don't even understand why he's in the Hall of Fame other than he coached the Dallas Cowboys to two Super Bowls. The thing
because he went toe to toe with Jerry.
No, that's true.
Sorry, Megan, love you.
A good point.
But actually, I think Megan would back me up on that comment. She doesn't love Jerry either. But here's the thing. He's the winningest head coach in Denver, but not of all time.
Right. But if
and
you look
this is his second time.
He's been up there. Second or third time that he's been.
If it's his third time, then he's not coming back.
Right.
So Broncos, this might be the second time for him. Now, how Broncos many times was Buddy, what's his last name? Buddy Parker on for?
I have no idea. I'd have to look. So I'm going to answer your question. There's nothing wrong with Russell Wilson. I'm going to put that out there. It's the fact that his offensive line isn't giving him time. If you don't give your quarterback time to throw the football, then you're done. But the Hall of Fame to me is, and this is true with a lot of Hall of Fames, is can you write history without him? And I don't think you can with Mike Shanahan. There's a lot of guys in the NFL you can't say that about who should be in. It's just frustrating as a Broncos fan.
But that's the thing. It's a Hall of Fame. You're not always going to get in.
That's certainly true. You have a point.
I mean,
there.
It's an enshrinement. Should he be in? Possibly. What was his record with the 49ers? I'm going to look that up. I actually have that up, I believe.
It's just so frustrating. But the thing about it is, it's the Hall of Fame. We can't do anything about it. And the thing is you look at it.
Try to get on the board, baby.
I know, right? I should. I know there's a guy, I can't remember his name on the top. Can't remember his name. He was on 104 one of the radio stations in Denver. And he was trying to advocate for Mike Shanahan. Obviously, it fell short. But you know what? It's the Hall of Fame. Hopefully, he'll get there one day. And I can tell you, I've been to Canton. I was lucky enough to go one day. And honestly, Canton, it's a nice place to be, especially see all those
next time you go, I've got some pictures I need you to take for me, please, and thank you.
Will do. I mean, I'm definitely planning on going back to Canton. So, well, I wish you good luck to your Carolina Panthers tonight against the Giants.
Thank you. Who are you guys playing this weekend?
We are playing the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow night in San Francisco. So I wonder if Kyle Shanahan
they're going to play Trey Lance because they're showcasing Trey Lance. We were allowing Zach Wilson to get showcased last week. However, I have heard Aaron Rodgers is stepping up and actually mentoring him. But you guys will win tomorrow night. They ain't going to play the starters.
I'm just hoping that I believe our stars are going to get 20 snaps. That's what Sean Payton said. So hopefully it's a better all-around, football game by us. But Jen, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you. Of course, shout out your 3 Chicks in a Pod because I always enjoy watching you and Carrie and Queen of Hoops, Megan Price, talk about sports of all times, as well as, Candy's on there sometimes.
With Chicks and Salsa.
There you go.
So 3 Chicks in a Pod is Candy, or is Megan, Carrie, and I. It's our baby. And we decided to do a second show also at the same time, Chicks and Salsa, but we do that once a month with all 4 of us. I'm got 2 ladies, they don't know it, but I'm trying to get them to agree to be a part of Chicks and Salsa. Sorry, Megan, sorry, Carrie, kind of telling you that now, but it's something I've been pondering for a while. But that's only if they like them, and Candy too. But they and Candy will fill in say for my birthday, Alton took me to a concert. So my birthday was on a Tuesday, so Candy was gracious enough to fill in for me. So that's Chicks and Salsa. 3 Chicks in a Pod is just us 3 girls. But you guys can find us on 3 Chicks in a Pod on Twitter. You can find me at Jenna Sherrill, the professional fan. On Twitter, you can, and on Instagram and X. I mean, not X. That is Twitter now.
Whatever it is now, who cares at this point?
The Instagram version of Twitter. I've got to start doing that, utilizing that more. And then and on Instagram, on Facebook, you can find me at Jennifer Jen Lewis. And 3 Chicks in a Pod Facebook page. Definitely
check out 3 Chicks in a Pod. They actually had the girl, or was she a cheerleader that took down Dan Snyder?
She was not a cheerleader, but she did help take down Dan Snyder.
There you go. Yeah,
she was the victim
like
too.
Megan Ember. Like
and follow her on Twitter, on X. She's awesome. She's an inspiration, like, for all people. She's a powerhouse. I am so impressed by her.
So those are the kind of guests that you'll actually have on 3 Chicks in a Pod.
Mm-hmm. And we've had Charlie Young on. I'm trying to get David Alexander Caldwell on. And then I have a spider on my monitor. I need to reach out to a couple other people that you and I met at Super Bowl as well to see if we can get them on.
So that'll do it for this edition of Under Review. I may be changing the name soon, but we'll just keep it as Under Review for now. You can find me at SportsScoop1 and read my blogs that I write Mondays through Fridays at sports-scoop.com. And have a great rest of your day. And thank you, Jennifer, for being on.
Thanks for having me, Jordan.